You know, sometimes the pressure of being too nice can result in you becoming kind of a meanie. So maybe some celebs have had this happen to them, and maybe some are just naturally mean. Either way, we're gonna talk about some of them. So here are the top 10 celebrities who are mean in real life, part 2. I'm your host, Bree Room, and let's just jump right into it. At number 10, CHARLIZE THERON. You wouldn't really think that CHARLIZE THERON was a meanie, but perhaps she does have a dark side. In 2014, CHARLIZE was accused of being less than friendly at a SoulCycle class by fellow actress Tia Mowry. It all started when Tia told tabloids of her unpleasant exchange with CHARLIZE, where she said, quote, "She wasn't very nice to me. I said hi and she actually rolled her eyes and said, oh my god, I wasn't over the top. I know how to approach another celebrity. Charlene was just mean. I'm just being honest." So obviously the tabloids had to look into this even more because an actress being mean is somehow a huge scoop, and they found some tea to back up Tia's story. Turns out that on top of being a little catty, CHARLIZE would also allegedly show up to class in a bad mood, and she has also apparently been known to demand that people who already set up their spot in class switch spots with her, therefore creating a disturbance in the class. SoulCycle describes itself as being more than a class, but a sanctuary, but it seems like CHARLIZE is just famous for disturbing the peace. At number 9, Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon may seem like a nice person on screen, and in other aspects of life she really might be, but there's also a little bit of diva energy buried within, and we got to see a bit of that energy escape when she and her husband were arrested in 2013. The two of them were pulled over by an officer, and Reese's husband was given a DUI charge, and in an effort to fight the charges, and I'm guessing to intimidate the arresting officer into letting them go, Reese pulled the "do you know who I am" card, and sadly it didn't work. Her attempt at defending her husband resulted in the actress being arrested for disorderly conduct, but the news of her arrest wasn't the only thing to hit the media. The whole incident was caught on camera. But that's not the only incident people have against her. There are also some who say that she wears sunglasses all the time to make sure that no one makes eye contact with her. Others who work for her say that they're afraid of offending her or making her mad, so I'd hate to know what she's like behind closed doors, you know? Before I carry on with the list, I just want to chime in here and ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video. It really helps us out when we get your positive feedback, so please, if you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a thumbs up. At number 8, Gwyneth Paltrow. A lot of people seem to hate Gwyneth Paltrow for some reason, and though she's never really done anything horrible, I get a sense that she's so mean and so disliked in Hollywood because she comes off as pretty pretentious, egotistical, and privileged. People don't really see Gwyneth as the average person or someone that they can really relate to, which can rub people the wrong way. The Goop founder likes flaunting her wealth and materialistic things and makes it seem like it's something that everyone has or can afford. For example, her Goop must-have lists of clothing pieces and other things include things that cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. On top of that, she came from a wealthy family, so being someone who's always been rich, she doesn't really know how to humble herself. People also don't like how she comes across as self-centered, as she always seems to talk about herself and how fit she is and how great her lifestyle is. She also has a diva attitude, and she's been known to slam Michelin star restaurants, and if you know what that means, then you know that she's got an attitude to do something like that. On top of that, she's been known to demand that someone clean and dry the shower at the gym after someone else has used it because she, quote, can't touch someone else's shower water. At number 7, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer is sort of a I don't care what people think of me kind of person, which can be a good thing sometimes because it allows you to carry yourself with confidence. However, it can also be a bad thing because it prevents you from thinking about how your actions might negatively impact others. An example of this comes from an incident in 2018 where Amy full-on stole a comedian's stand-up set. The story goes that there was an up-and-coming comedian who was doing one of his first long sets, and obviously this was a really big deal for the guy until Amy ruined it. She walked into the venue and went to the manager to ask if she could steal 10 minutes of stage time because she wanted to practice her new set. Because the other comedian had just started, the manager said no, so Amy hit back with, quote, but I'm Amy Schumer. Like, that's gonna make a difference. After getting refusals left and right, she marched up on stage and took over his time for a few minutes. I know Amy is a big timer, but come on. You have to remember what it was like to be up and coming, and that kind of behavior is just plain rude. At number 6, Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz isn't the nicest person in Hollywood, especially in regards to her fans. She's pretty well known for biting the heads off her fans when they approach her looking for photos and autographs. When a fan approaches the actress in hopes of getting an autograph or photo, not only does she refuse them, but she also goes into full-on mom mode and she'll lecture you about why autographs are stupid and why she won't do it. The overarching theme of what Cameron says during her rants at her fans, according to them, seems to be that she'll tell you that autographs are dumb, and that if she she made an exception for one person, then she'd have to make an exception for everyone. Though in a way she does have a point about making exceptions for people, she doesn't have to do it in such a mean way. Halfway through at number 5, Mike Myers. Mike Myers isn't really doing much in Hollywood these days, and I think I might know why. It's because he's so mean. There have been a number of horror stories to come out about the actor, which sort of paints him as both a diva and just a really mean person in general. Some of the things that have come out about the actor include rumors that when he's on set, he has someone following him around all day, feeding him chocolates from a Tupperware container, at the same time as ordering other people around and micromanaging the production. And as if that's bad enough, he's also reportedly gotten an actor fired off set for only having made eye contact with Mike. That is some seriously mean and toxic behavior. On top of that, he's allegedly refused to sign autographs for a toy company who made toys based on his characters, and even though he demanded that this company ship him his merchandise as soon as it was ready, he then refused to pay for them. People also describe him as a narcissist and controlling, so no wonder no one wants to work with him anymore. At number 4, Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is actually one of the few celebrities who's actually admitted to being mean, and being mean on purpose. Yeah, some other celebs might be intentionally mean to intimidate people, but Jennifer Lawrence has actually admitted to being mean as a way to defend herself. Being a Hollywood A-lister must be tough, so you have to find a way to navigate through that, so I'm guessing that being rude works for Jennifer. The actress has said that she is intentionally mean to her fans in an effort to get them to leave her alone. Though I guess it's a good idea in theory to make yourself unapproachable, it might also lead you to losing all of your fans in general. Jennifer really rose to fame through the Hunger Games films, and at the time she would have had a younger fan base, so being mean to these kids was probably taking things a little bit too far. There's really no reason to be afraid of preteens, unless they're on TikTok. At number 3, Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts seems like a nice person. She's always cast as nice and endearing characters, but there's so much more to Julia than meets the eye. Apparently, she's a nightmare to work with. Other than having been part of some messy relationships and having been dubbed as a homewrecker at one point, Julia's bad attitude doesn't just take place off set. In 1991, on the set of the Spielberg film Hook, a Peter Pan film, Julia earned the nickname Tinkerhell as a play on her character Tinkerbell, combined with the production's perception of the actress. Apparently during filming she would show up to the set late all the time, and she would lock herself in her trailer for hours on end. She would also treat people badly, and she would never apologize for her actions or behavior. Tinkerbell might be cute and nice, but Julia Roberts certainly is not. At number 2, Guy Fieri. Guy Fieri, although loved by many, is actually the #1 most hated celebrity chef. You might be asking yourself, why? He's not that bad. Well, my friend, you'd be surprised. Turns out that though Guy is a fun-loving dude on camera, he's actually pretty mean in real life. He's got a pretty big ego, he's made some pretty offensive jokes, and he's not a very nice guy when it comes to women. He's also been accused of being anti-Semitic and anti-gay. People said that he is full of himself and controlled by fame, he makes sexist jokes, and is always caught staring at women's breasts, so much to the point that editors for his show have to cut out those moments. That's a lot. He's also refused to work with or even talk to anyone from the gay community, and apparently you have to give him forewarning before he does. And people also hate him because he makes a mockery of the culinary arts, calling himself a chef when he doesn't even have any culinary training. At number 1, James Corden. James Corden has brought us carpool karaoke, laughs on his show, and entertainment in his other productions. For such a happy and fun guy, there's no way that he could be a total jerk. Wrong again. Turns out he's actually pretty mean, and that this persona that you see on TV is all an elaborate ruse. In reality, James is arrogant, rude, and kind of a diva. There are a bunch of stories that paint James as a mean person. Firstly, he was part of a group of people who advocated for paying late-night writers less money. Yes, you heard that right. He's also been known to use the "do you know who I am" line quite a number of times, and he's even reportedly told someone that he could buy them if they didn't do what he wanted. There have been incidents of fans catching James being mean to his wife and letting his temper get the best of him at times. A lot of people say that he only acts nice in order to butt kiss his way to the top, and he doesn't care who he takes down in the process. I only have one word for him: toxic. I want to know if you guys have had any bad experiences with a celebrity and what happened. Tell me all the juicy details. But in the meantime, let's do some comment shoutouts from our video, the top 10 celebrities you forgot went to prison. Carolyn Ambrose says, your sequel to this should be called Top 10 Celebrities You Wish Had Stayed in There. I'd love to do that. That would be great. Joey Gates says, I guess Santa got caught by his own snow. I like that joke, that's very funny. Beezer says, get some new content, Bree. We can never forget these people went to jail when this channel has made the same video multiple times on the same people. Well, technically, you know, This is my first time doing it, so it's a completely new video. Thank you, Beezer, my #1 hater. JM Dramana says, remember kids, don't take drugs. Good message. Please make good choices. Just do good things. Don't do drugs. Thanks for all your comments and for sticking around until the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I've been your host, Bree Room, and until next time, stay safe, be kind to others, and stay groovy, friends.